Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tell you a couple of some creepy backroom stories. Story 1. The Backrooms. It was a normal day in the office, and the main guy named Mac was getting on the elevator. Then one of his coworkers, Lacey, got on too. They were joking around about their boss that was really rude and always saying, "Here's more people," and mocking him. Whenever they arrived, Lacey got off on the 3rd floor, and he also did as well. They went back to work. About an hour later, they were going back down to where the cars were all parked. Together, they were talking about the boss again. Mostly the only topic they talk about whenever they're around each other. Lacey was joking around with him, getting him scared by pressing all the buttons on it. It led to one of the places that Lacey got off on. "Bye," Max said. "Bye," Lacey replied. Then the lights turned off. He looked around, but the lights were going. The lights on the buttons, of course. Then the lights turned back on. He felt dizzy for a moment. Then all the buttons were getting pressed by himself. Then he fell back and the door opened. Ding dong. Look at that. He walked out, and he was in the back rooms. Whenever he fell back, he no-clipped out of reality and landed into the back rooms. "Oh my gosh, where am I? Where am I?" He started to panic. He was walking around to see if there's anyone there. "Hello? Hello?" No one replied. It was quiet. All I could hear was the sound of the lights flickering and the sound of, nothing. He just heard the sound of the lights. Now, it looked like it had a wet carpet with a yellow, weird wall that had wallpapers on it, and with a yellow ceiling as well, with lights on it. The lights were flickering, but as he walked for about 10 minutes, he started to forget all about himself. He forgot about everything. It's like he had memory loss. Until he saw something lurking in the shadows. What the heck is that? Then he looked at it even more closely. It was some sort of monster with a smile on his face. Oh my gosh, what the heck? He thought he remembered stuff, but he didn't. As he walked through, he saw the monster again, and weird stuff like lockers, black holes. Well, not like actual black holes, just painted black holes, and different wallpaper. Then he saw another monster with a frowny face. There was one part of the room, or the office, or the infinite office, I must say, where it was completely dark. And the lights on the top turned off. There was nothing there. Then he saw the monster get closer and closer and closer. He was walking in a funny way. His arms were moving side to side. Well, normally walking, trying to run, but running slowly. Then I turned around and looked at him. Oh my gosh. He started to run, and the entity started to chase after him. Soon he tripped, and the entity got closer, and finally, Mac died. Alright. Yep, And that was first story. Well, now we'll move on. Move on to the Scaretastic channel.
Okay, hey guys, and I am the Scaretastic channel, and today I'm going to be telling you another story about the Backrooms. It was a cold and brisky afternoon in Alaska. Nothing to do, and Mark was bored. So he just decided to throw a basketball on the wall. And throwing a basketball on the wall went to a baseball. And throwing a baseball on the wall went to a soccer ball. And then it went to a big hole in the wall. He was angry. Mark just couldn't get enough of it. He was angry, he was bored. All of his friends had moved out. And he felt like nothing was there. He felt like a big wall. And then, so he just decided to lay on his bed, flat. Nothing to do, doing nothing, feeling nothing. And that's what he did for a while. Until there was a knock on the door. Finally, my mother's home, he thought. He opened the door. It wasn't. It was some black, squirtly, giggly guy. He laughed and just exited. He fell. Hard. He looked at the ground. There was no ground. He looked at the sky. There was no sky. He looked at the walls. There was no walls. He was in between. Until he just kept on falling. He was very confused. He was screaming at the top of his lungs. Until he hit ground. Am I back at the house? Am I back at my house? No, Mark wasn't. He had entered the Backrooms. He'd heard of these before, and he just believed they were a myth. But it's time for him to get payback on them. He tried to go left, and he tried to go right. There was no correct answer. He didn't know. He knew there were many levels of these things, which made it pretty difficult. He decided to walk forward, and he walked forward. There was a groan, an old, dirty groan. He was scared. He didn't know if he was dead or if he was alive, or if he didn't know. So he just kept walking forward, and then he remembered something. He watched a video about someone believing the Backrooms were real, and the entities made a groan. The shadow figure came into the peering. The groaning got louder and louder as the shadow figure got closer and closer. He knew it was an entity. It had to be. Mark ran for his life, but he hit a dead end. He had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. He fell back with despair. The entity came closer and closer and closer.